be left. Hi, everybody. Hey, Daniel, I see you there. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Hey, Carolyn. I'm good. Yeah, good. So I'm Melissa, your free range psychic. This is my live show. It is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Oh, good. Thank you, Daniel. Hey, Cindy. And I don't know. The energy today feels a little strange to me, but it's been feeling strange for ever since we had our who, right? Oh, thank you, C. Schneider. But I don't know. It's weird today for some reason for me. But a lot of weird stuff is happening continuously, right? And Steve Miller seems to be in the spotlight, right? Baby Goebbels. Um, and I don't know what's going on with Trump. Yeah, Daniel, I do too. Hey, Sandra. Um, yeah, it's Baby Goebbels' time to shine. Uh, he's been waiting for this his whole life, and now he's in the spotlight. Hey, Deborah. Oh, I hope you're having a great day too. Um, it's kind of rainy here. We're really coming into October weather in southeast Michigan. It's though the trees haven't like turned into their full glory yet, so that's yet to come. We got really spectacular changes of color in the leaves. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Juanita. Hope everybody's doing okay. Um, I've been trying to think of what to really talk about today. It's more of the same, and yet I do think that the orange one seems to be getting worse. His health didn't he disappear for like 5 days or something? He pops up and then he says strange things, stranger than usual. Like Osama bin Laden, he knew him a year ago or something, or his time is off. Yeah, let's go Tigers, Daniel. I just looked up where they were, and they're in the playoffs, right? Or I don't really follow sports, but they're somewhere in there. Because I was thinking yesterday, are the Tigers, are they still in, like in the is there a potential for them, to win? Yes, I love my Tigers. I hope they win. I don't follow sports, but I am, I'm from Detroit, and I'm proud when the Tigers win or the Lions win or our teams win. Susie, what are you saying here? The orange one or dear leader just announced he may not pay back. He may not pay back pay from the shutdown. I'm sure they'll fight it. Yeah, he's such a weird. Um, he's so weird in this role that he's usurped because it's like he's the ultimate narcissist. So all the money is his money. It's not the people's money. It's his money, and he doesn't pay his workers anyway. And he loves to have control over the pocketbook. That is his thing. Um, I just don't get the sense. Oh, because it gives him the narcissistic supply of control. But I don't think he's doing very well. I think he's even worse than he has been. He's just on a decline. And then you have people in the background. I think Miller is now the posthumous. Isn't no, not posthumous. He's the the acting president. Though he's not even an elected official. It's so crazy. And it's going to be a battle between him and JD Fancy Pants, who's in power, because I'm sure they're squaring off. Miller wants to be, Hitler, not just Goebbels, but I think I've occasionally I watch videos about that time. When the Nazis seceded power, or they were defeated, and there was it Goebbels and some other very powerful Nazis up in the hierarchy, and then Hitler got paranoid, and he I forget who he gave control over to somebody that I don't think we or please let me know, but somebody I don't think, somebody who's surprising that he would just say that person will succeed me. Of course, didn't happen. Thank God. But there's so much fighting behind the scenes. There has to be. Yeah, I agree. Because once you're in the spotlight, even with dear leader's addled brain, he still doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to perceive that there are usurpers, powerful people over him. And I think that's what happened with Leon and why he was kicked out. He pushed the boundaries too much. Carolyn, you're saying I agree, artistic world. I think he's going to make a big mistake. I think so too. He's getting too carried away. And there's consequences still. There's still consequences for actions. Let's see what else. Daniel, did the felon say he fell down the stairs in the White House? Did he say that? I didn't hear that. When did he say that? Where can I see that reported? Where there's stairs, I think that there's potential for him to fall for sure. Hey, Jackie, what about the kids that were arrested in Chicago and taken for no reason? I know, and even marched naked out of that apartment building where they did that kind of like a comic. Is it like a SWAT raid or something? I was going to say kamikaze raid. That was disgusting. People are saying, like the pundits in the Democratic world, that the reason they're doing that is to get a rise out of people in Chicago so they can start a civil unrest, and then they want to somehow potentially, or that administration, they want to potentially have an excuse to come in and militarize the cities and declare martial war. So they're being as outrageous as possible. It's so sick. I know that ICE get paid a lot of money. I even hear that they're getting their student loans paid off and huge bonuses, but is your soul really worth that? Rabia, I think while it's important to get clarity on what's going on, we really need to point our focus on what we want to have happen. I agree. I 100% agree with that, Rabia. What do you want to see happen, Rabia? And I will read it. I will put your comment up. What is your take on the Minnesota voting irregularities that came out? Will that gain traction? I did hear about that. Now, my guides do tell me that, because I ask them almost every day, will people know the truth? Will that, because I see a scenario, even without the treason or the of the coup, which actually the military, that they're sworn to the Constitution, to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and so that is their duty to come in and oust this current regime. but then I think, well, then what happens after that? And the lot for me, maybe it's just, well, I'll give over to Rabia and just say that's what I would like to see happen is, of course, Kamala and Tim getting in there because they won. And then then it is it comes to my mind that that's why we really need to know the truth about the election. I think it's all going to gain traction. It's so obvious that the votes were flipped. I mean, just statistically. And my guides say it will come out, and then I say when, like how far into the future, and they say it will come out soon. Will Russell Vought complete project 2025? He's halfway there. So when I asked my guides about that, because I've heard always 3/4 there and whatever, they say it may seem like they are, but because it's one thing to give orders and carry out certain audits or firings or whatever. This particular group of people are so like ADD, that they don't do good follow through, and they don't have good relationships with people who are supposed to follow out like the complete directions. So they're not as far in as we think they are. I asked the guides again. Oh, Marie said he walks carefully, not hurry so as not to fall. Well, there's a reason for that, really, right? I mean, there must be potential for him to fall. I'm surprised they don't have one of those lift chairs, going up and down the stairs for him. He probably really needs it. It's probably not safe for him. The way that he even just walks, and he can't weave a straight line, or he weaves. He can't the weave. He can't walk a straight line, and so that has to be dangerous. If he was my charge or relative, I'd be really concerned. I've taken care of people with elderly people with challenges, and I know all the potentials for what can happen. And I would want to make sure that the stairs weren't. He wasn't taking the stairs. Actually, he just seems so ill to me. The goal of them getting crazier is for the unawake to crack, not for us to have to melt down. That gives them the energy. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, they're vampires, and they live off our fear and our despair. 100% agree. But I asked the guides, Liz, okay, about that right now, and I'm using my pendulum. You may not see me use it, but it's there. It's a mixed answer they're giving. They definitely have done damage to our bureaucracy, and they've stolen allegedly a lot of money. I mean, their hands are in the treasury, but it's hard. It's hard to like launder the money, and so the trail is pretty easy to follow. They're not, but these people use Signal, right? And Signal's part of 2025. Not to, they think that if they can use Signal, it's outside the mainstream communications of the White House, and therefore it's not traceable. That was an order that was, I'm pretty sure that was written up in 2025 as an instruction. But and I honestly believe it goes straight to Putin. I think Putin's just listening in. That's Hegseth. I think allegedly, this is just a psychic's view, entertainment purposes only. What do I know? Just psychic talking to her guides. But what I hear from my guides, not to be taken literally or as a fact, anything I say, but my guides pretty much show me that. Also, Witkoff is another one. Hesketh and Witkoff just and Loomer, I think too, direct pipelines to Putin, and so Signal is not safe. So it's a problem, but at the same time, all of that stuff, I mean, none of it's going to disappear. And I do think there's going to be a time for justice. Let's see. So again, coming back to Liz's question here, I should probably put that up here. He's doing damage. People are getting fired. People are losing their livelihoods. There are empty departments, but it's only temporary. The guides say it's all going. It's not like irreparable harm. It's just temporary. Let's ask about Vogt a little bit. I think his name is pronounced Vogt, right? Because he seems like almost I don't even know. I can't even think of what he looks like. He's not a personality to me. But he is like JD Fancy Pants and who else? The chairman of the FCC also, Brendan Carr. They're all like behind 2025. They helped write it, and they're helping put it into play. So the guides say this man is as evil as they come. He believes that only the rich, like, the Darwinism, but not Darwinism, but like oligarchy Darwinism, I guess. Only oligarchs, only rich people have the right to the spoils, and nobody else. He's heartless, and he does his job heartlessly. Does he have any vulnerabilities? Yes, the guides say he's vulnerable to he's too grandiose. So he just believes that he's going to get away with everything and that it's a done deal. Like this coup is a done deal. And it's not a done deal. In fact, it's not going to be successful, the guides say. And there's going to be hell to pay for these people. They're reminding me of, when the Nazi soldier said, we're only following orders. That's kind of what they're going to say. Thank you, Cindy. Thanks. I'll put that up here. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Marby. Let's, I'm missing comments here, I know, so I'm going to come back up and go back down. I don't know, and any of you psychics, intuitives, whatever you perceive, let me know. I'm always curious. And I like confirmation. I love co-reading. Like I like it when psychics read together. Because it's like last week when I was asked about the shutdown, and I wasn't afterwards, because I know what I thought I heard was maybe not, but if we did, it wouldn't last long. But then I was doubtful afterwards, because then I started seeing the news about it, and I haven't really asked. I haven't followed up on it. I haven't asked about it since, and I'm not sure. Like, was that incorrect? Did I hear incorrectly? The guides are never wrong. Again, the guides are never wrong. It's just that we as human beings, we can mishear them, or misinterpret, mistranslate. So the military, so Artistic World saying the military are super focused now. I think Miller will be hearing from them. Bondi's contempt, answering questions of the White House Oversight Committee today. It was disgusting and contemptible. So awful to watch. Yeah, she's one. Bondi. To me, she's just another like Vogt, like completely evil. and without any conscience, or she's just kind of I think she probably is ambitious, and she just wants to be like a and I don't want to cast aspersions on pit bulls, because pit bulls can be very sweet dogs, but she is like the orange one's pit bull, right? Just like Noam and the others. It's so amazing to me that Taylor Greene is now like cast out of this group. I was so sure she'd just be like all of them walking in lockstep, and she's not. I wonder if it's like the Mean Girls, and Loomer became like the most popular, cool, mean girl in that clique, and then threw Marjorie Taylor Greene out, cast her aside, so she took over. I wonder if it's something like that. I really don't know. It's hard to believe that she would really have any integrity at all, considering what we know of her. But now she's calling for the Epstein files to be released, things like that. Although she can be still be pretty odious, as I recall. So let's see. So Liz, you're asking how long the government shutdown is. Yeah, that I heard today that there were no air traffic controllers in Burbank, California. None. Burbank, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it caused problems with flights preparing to land. I truly believe this kind of thing has to do, because there's been interferences with our air traffic controllers and just general our flights in general in our airports, and it struck me from the beginning when that first plane, that tragic accident with all those people and those Olympiads, and which nobody ever really talked about afterwards, like happened, and then we should have been talking about it and investigating it. And I really felt it was like it was a terrorist attack, and I really felt that Russia was involved. And I think the plan, like I think that all of their leaders, insurrectionists, they take their orders from Putin. Putin wants to destroy our country, and so he's attacking us in all these different, really kind of fundamental areas, like decreasing our. One of the first things they did was stop or shut down the espionage department looking into Russia. First thing, remember? So we're under attack. I feel we're under attack right now, and air traffic is one of the things that's under attack by a foreign party, but it's being acted out by the domestic enemies in alliance with Putin, and there's other countries too, obviously, but I'm pretty sure Putin's at the center. That's what I think. MTG found out that her kids' insurance premiums are going to double, so she may vote with the Dems on the budget. That would be great. JC, haven't there been air traffic problems traced to Erik Prince? I don't recall any of that, but I if you want to, I could research too. Not right now, but I don't know that. I couldn't give you a good answer to. Robbie is saying, I feel right now there's so much up in the air that it's going to be hard to predict. Yeah, everything does seem to be swirling around. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, Artistic World, that the orders might come from, out there, from Russia, but they're being carried out by inside by the people, by the coup members, the people who are in alliance with this insurrection that's happening, with this coup, that are affiliated with or belonging to the GOP. I guess I should complete that thought. Rob Reiner said that 45 is planning military at polling sites and will take control of the voter machines and tallies. Do you see that happening? My guides, whenever I ask them, they said there's going to be a free election. That no, they don't see that happening. But not that we shouldn't be worried about it. It could happen, but I don't. No, the guides say it's not going to be happening. JC, I was hoping you would ask the cards about Prince. Well, I don't have my cards with me. I would ask my guides with my pendulum. That's just direct. No, but I have done a video on Prince. I don't even know what. I've done so many over the years. But if you wanted to look, go back to my channel and look at my playlist. There's definitely. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I skipped him, but I thought that I had done a video on him. Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's okay. I could have my cards here, but I don't. It's easier for me to just do it this way. I love doing the cards too. But what do you want me to ask about Prince exactly? Oh, at this moment? Let's see. Oh, I'm skipping around, and I have been accused of that before, and I'm very tangential. So I do kind of like think in a spiral, but I always come back to where I was. I always, not, I shouldn't say always, but I try to, kind of cover points, even though I might lose track of them for a while. Let me ask about the government shutdown just for a second to see if I can get any more information, and then I'll move on to your point, JC. I'm getting a mixed answer. The guides see that the pressure is going to come from donors that are like want the government open. It's not the people. It's not anything to do with our well-being. It's to do with pressure from external pressure. And he may actually work with the Democrats on health care, because he is very much obliged to his donors. And I'm just saying that it may be sooner than we think. All of a sudden, there's movement, and then we move on. He's such a chaos agent, the orange one, dear leader. The guys are showing me that he loves this. He loves the anxiety that people are feeling about this shutdown, and the power that he has to cause this kind of fear and confusion. And he loves having the power to do what he's doing now, but he also can be persuaded by money. And he doesn't want to upset his donors and the people. There are people in the shadows that really pull the strings, and especially now that he's not well, the guides say. There are other people there that are calling the shots, and this has to do with consumerism, like the Koch brothers. The guys are saying, and the people who own the corporations. The shutdown is not necessarily very good for them. There's so much being harmed. There's so much damage. So let's see what other questions we have here. Will Epstein file revelation come from overseas? Johnson is refusing to swear in. Yeah. Did you guys see that? It's gone viral. That guy who said he has the Johnson's Grindr profile, or allegedly. What I see Mikey. I should say just Mikey Johnson, and so I have like a pretty silly imagination, and I see this as like a Walt Disney mouse, a little mouse nose and whiskers when he's talking, like in one of the Disney movies with the mice. Do you guys, can you see that? And the thing that really kind of shocks me about people like him and Fancy Pants fans is how well they lie. They lie, they lie, they lie, and without even blinking, it's just a thing. It's like, do they practice that? How can they do that? They project everything, and I guess maybe they got really good at that because they're, you know, lacking in other areas, but they're really, really good liars. Oh, okay, JC. Okay, I'll ask about Prince, right? Allegedly. Um, it's not. They say it's Putin and Russians who have my cat Winnie. She started to come into the kitchen when I'm here. She didn't never used to do that. She used to just whine from the entrance, but now she comes right in. It's okay, Winnie. You can be patient. You're all right. She's under my table. Um, so they don't see it as Prince. They see it as like people who work for Putin, like the Wagner brother people. I don't think Prince is much different from the Wagner brothers, but that's who they say. And they have this technology where you can jam the navigation instruments and the radar, and but that's who's really doing it. They say. Not that Prince isn't doing something equally as nefarious. I'm sure he probably is, but they're saying it's more Russians. Artistic World saying, I believe Ghislaine will reveal her information. What do the guides say? Thank you. Um, did you see when um, Dear Leader was asked about Ghislaine at some press conference, and uh, because the Supreme Court refused to take her appeal to take up her case, and he said, it's like he said, Ghislaine who? I don't know that name. Yeah, oh yeah, kind of maybe I'll see it, but I was like thinking, oh come on, it's the stupidest lie ever. That's stupid. As we all know, you know her. It's like we don't have the ability to, you know, Google it. Like all of a sudden these old interviews or whatever, there's like they're gone, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. Like that's where our technology is. You just can't keep these things. And the GOP, it's just, I think it's just a facet of gaslighting where you just pretend that none of that exists. And whatever you're going to say now in the moment, whatever you're going to proclaim as truth is more impactful, and people are going to believe it somehow because you've conditioned their minds. And yet, any of us, in one nanosecond, we could just find it out. Like, yes, look, do you know Ghislaine? There's a photograph of you on her. What are you talking about? It's vanity. Oh, you're welcome, JC. No, no worries. Hey, haven't heard that name in a long time. Yeah, but didn't you send Thornton your special attorney? That wasn't even when was it, last month? It hasn't even been that long ago. Oh, oh my God. I guess Ray Cohn probably taught him that. Do you think how to lie and be really good at lying? If you're really, really good at lying, we have a place for you here in the GOP. You don't need credentials. Well, we'll get those. We'll just, like that Lindsay Halligan need a credential. She's an attorney, but she's barely like an insurance attorney, and then they send her to the Supreme Court. Or not the if not the Supreme Court, whatever that jurisdiction is where she actually is blowing it in that case against Comey. Robbie is saying, my guides call him the criminal imposter. They used to call him the illegal occupant. Yeah, Yeah, I got that. I got that, JC. Deny, deny, deny. That is Roy Cohn. And the thing is that he couldn't remember the name of the orange one. Couldn't remember the name of the book that he'd written, or that book. I don't remember what it's called. The one I wrote. That's when you can really clock that his brain is just totally fried. So let's see if I've missed any questions. So yeah, here we are. Oh my God, you guys. But the judges are fighting back. Oh, what do you guys think about the house blowing up in South Carolina? That judge and her husband and son, I think, were taken to the hospital, and they don't know yet. Um, I guess the authorities don't know yet if that. I think they might have said it wasn't arson. I should ask my guides about that. Like, what the heck went on with that? It's not like the GOP are past doing something like that. I mean, they've done that before. Definitely arson. It has to be. It's their MO. And they're not even ashamed of it. It's the mafia, right? Um, let's see. Oh, they said it was arson. Okay, so I heard somebody say that they said it wasn't arson, and that was confusing to me. Somebody on YouTube channel. Yeah, the guides say it was arson, and it was a threat. It's a mafia threat, and that's how. Again, and I'm sorry if I'm repetitive about this. It comes from the Putin's playbook. That's how they're running this country, and that's how Putin runs his country, like a mafia. She was the judge who denied Trump getting personal data from the IRS. Oh, God, I'm just a temerity of the evil of threatening judges like that. But they're doing it to the Democratic members too, and as we've seen. Oh my God, really? Wow. He's okay though. I mean he's not okay, but he's alive and he's going to make it. And was her son also injured? Yeah, the mob is active now more than ever. Pure evil. Pure evil. That that is what Rabia was mentioning, kind of envisioning what you would like. And I would really love to see um, Putin's government. And oh, happy birthday, Putin. It's his birthday, and it's also the anniversary of October 7th. The massacre at that music festival in Israel, which also you can trace back to Putin too. Um, in the hospital, the husband, oh God. Oh, her son's okay. Wish we had a actually working FBI. How will SCOTUS rule on the tariffs? That's a good question. If there's a question that I was going to answer and I missed that, or I lost track of it, let me know, because it's easier for you guys than me. I'm kind of trying to kind of have look at many things at once, so to speak. So I can lose track. Let's see. How will SCOTUS rule? I could be wrong with this. That's not the guides, it would be me. But what I think I'm hearing is that they won't allow the tariffs. And when I ask them why, they say because the Koch brothers and very influential members of the Heritage Society, um, they're the ones who are they don't want the tariffs. They're not on board. So that might be why the Supreme Court, if they go ahead and allow them, then I'm sorry, but I'm hearing that there's a potential anyway that they're not going to allow them. And if that's the case, wow, will the orange one flip out? So let's see. I'll ask what JC. I'll ask what is Prince doing right now? He's up to nefarious stuff overseas. They're pointing me towards Africa. And you know how the Russians they sent the Wagner Group into Africa to they created horrible massacres there. Kind of supporting some regimes and trying to tear down the democratic ones, and really a lot of it has to do with gold mines and rare minerals. And right now, like because of crypto, there's a real interest because I guess crypto requires minerals. Part of the reason we might be going after Venezuela. Not we, sorry, the interlopers. His mercenaries are also in Africa fighting these wars and causing misery. And he works, the guides say, in tandem with the Wagner brothers. There's more. Erik Prince. There's betrayal there for Erik. He's trusting people he shouldn't trust. And there's a big betrayal coming for him. Not necessarily losing his life, but losing power. Like it's going to get pretty bad. Like kind of like a drug deal gone wrong or something. They're just I'm not sure because I don't really know that much about Prince, but there's betrayal coming for him, and it's going to be devastating for him. It's going to mean the loss of a lot of power and a lot of money from somebody he knows. It's an ugly world that he's in. Oh, I'm not surprised. Liza, you say only one Koch left. He loves terror, so does the Heritage Foundation. I heard the opposite. I heard that he actually funded a small company who was taking our leader to court because of the tariffs. So that's why lawsuits have advanced this far. That he isn't a fan. But I could be wrong. But I remember hearing that. That he and some other group or person was behind this taking the tariffs to court. Trump just signed another executive order to exclude Congress. He's opening up mining in Alaska natural preserves. Will this be challenged? Good question. I hope everybody's okay. If there's other things too that you want me to read on, I'm still, I know you're still out. You guys are still out there. Who's ever watching this? I haven't lost track of you. Yes. He's going to be challenged. He's going to start losing a lot of these cases, the guides say. He's not as powerful as you think. There are things going on behind the scenes that are just total chaos and a lot of betrayal, like the Five of Wands card, you know, and the Tower. It's not a unified front there. And I do see the military stepping in, because that meeting that was called, the 800 generals that were all together, that unified the generals, and they know what their duty is. They know what they need to do. They're planning it already. That's what the guides say. So that's the guides' answers. Hey, Linda. Oh, I love that you listen to me when you're doing your chores. That's fantastic. Yay. I always listen to YouTube when I'm doing my chores. So, Liza, I'll ask again about the Koch brothers. I always, you know, second guess myself, but I do recall seeing that regarding the Koch brother. Like I'll just Google it, because I obviously could be wrong. Oh, Ralph Reed. All right. Wow, I remember Ralph Reed. Um, Eric Prince DeVos, Trump and Rubio have the same consultant, Ralph Reed, the big oil consultant, and Herder of Christians. Oh my God. I keep seeing Trump in a small room being court-martialed. Yeah. Yes. It's just beyond, I don't know, beyond the pale. Is that the right word? Like, it'd be one thing if I think that, you know, to carry off this kind of coup, you have to be a little subtle about it. And there's nothing subtle about these guys at all. They're just, it's in our faces, you know? And and did you see the expression of the military when they listened to Hesketh and, you know, Dear Leader? It was the silence and the look of shock. So I pray that the angels of the military, that there's intervention. We need them to come in. We really do. He is commander in chief, so court martial is the only leverage left. Interesting. Linda says, I also see the Pentagon getting President Stinky out of the White House. Cartoon, they could get him with a giant shoehorn to pry him out of the Oval Office. That makes me remember. Do you remember that when Leon was in the Oval Office with Dear Leader and X? It's like a dream or a nightmare. And X saying, "You're not the real president. You don't belong here." Do you remember? That happened. That really, really happened. Uh, Heritage Foundation now supports tariffs. Koch doesn't. You're right. Ah. Um, so we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about that. Um, I think the tariffs might get knocked down. There is potential for that by the Supreme Court. Um, they've done enough. They've done their chaos. I mean, people made killings off the insider trading, allegedly. You know, they've done enough damage. What do we need them? Why does he need to wield them anymore? It's just enough. Lesan says, seems like T's health won't even let him last through the year, but however he leaves, it's all good. Yeah, I asked my guides about that too. Like, will he be physically in his body, or will he have already made his transition to wherever he's going? And I get everything happens like at this kind of point where Pudi leaves the planet and T follows him, but then you do have the military coming in and ending this coup, and also, and I hope this happens, the truth about the elections being stolen, all happening around the same time and not that far off. JC says, looks like they have evidence that Erica was doing that. Yeah. Whole rabbit hole. That whole rabbit hole, yeah. But I did a video several years ago on Betsy DeVos. Remember her? Eric Prince's sister. And there are books written about her sending her people out to various countries like Romania, and then with like so-called adoption agencies, and then basically stealing those children. And I think it was around when I started looking into it, that was actually happening allegedly, or we thought that might be happening in the Dear Leader's first. I hate saying his regime. Okay, I was going to say administration, but it's just not legit. I don't think that either of them were legitimate. And we were wondering what was happening to the children who were separated from their parents, the immigrants that were coming in. Remember all those facilities being built then? There must be big money and all of that, just like in the prisons. And those children, how many? I don't even know if they were all found yet. I mean, like there were 200 missing, the last I heard. But that must be less. I know Biden quietly did his best to reunite those children with their parents. But so there was all kinds of talk about like potential trafficking at that point. Well, I think that Erica being evangelical and DeVos being evangelical, maybe that was a DeVos movement that she was a part of. I can't see how it wouldn't be. What do you guys think? Yeah, we remember DeVos for that. The perversion or perverseness of appointing people like DeVos to Department of Education just to destroy it. That's why she was there. Yeah, his first takeover. So I think that rabbit hole, you would find a connection between the agency that Erica was part of and the DeVos organization. But there's a book actually written about her and that whole I don't know what to call it. Like how that was organized and like what and the ostensible justification was that we were saving these children from their like their pagan countries or to go to good Christian evangelical homes so you can increase the Christian population. She was a crusader. That's ostensibly what that was all about. Yeah, all connected. I agree. So these themes are reoccurring, right? If I think back to what was going on then and what's going on now, building off, it was the same trajectory, no difference. weren't we so happy when he wasn't in power? I want to go back in time and it'd be a Biden administration when, remember, they used to they used to honor all the holidays, like they when the LGBTQ that the month, I forget what month that is, um, of celebrating. The White House would be, lit in rainbow colors. Do you remember that? Oh my God, those were the days. Catherine Gilbert says, hello, everyone. We say hello back. Hi, Catherine. Oh, makes me so sad. So, yeah, it's the same. Yeah, we're dealing with the same thing. Only this time around, they wanted to have it on steroids. And what I'm talking about is Project 2025 and the GOP. They wanted to do what they weren't able to do in 2016, and they thought they might be able to do in 2020, but they failed. Then probably because of COVID, stopped some of that in its tracks. And then they spent 4 years messing with allegedly, this is just me and my guides, messing with our machines and creating the ability for them to be allegedly retabulated. I believe so anyway. And here we are. Yeah, those were the days, my friends. That's a good image to hold in our minds, right? The White House. And how was it Christmas? How beautiful it was. Just to remember, it wasn't that long ago. See, my mother, JC says, my mother was pregnant with me when JFK was inaugurated. Her joy was transferred to me. I still believe in the promise of great leaders. I do too. I do too. Linda says election fraud may be the shoehorn that gets this regime out. I wonder if the ones in the background, our side, democracy, is still waiting for him to croak to avoid civil war. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is, except that we need to be rescued by the military. And they must have loved Biden, and Biden was so good to them. And he would always end every speech with, and may God protect our troops. And that goodwill must have been received by our military in many, many different ways. Yeah, they must have. So it's not been that long. They can have forgotten. And I just think they need to come and kind of save us because we're in peril. So before I end this, I will ask my guides about that. Will we be saved by the military? JC says Biden added funding to the VA programs as well. I'm getting and I've gotten this from the beginning of this coup, that the military would be the ones that would come and save us. And I can't help but think now, with seeing, especially that meeting that Hesketh called, it solidifies it. It is coming. There's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing that the Orange One and his administration can do about it. It's done. Because they don't see, they won't see him as commander in chief anymore. They'll see him as a foreign, domestic enemy, like a maturing candidate working for a foreign power. So, yeah, it's an international. You're right, Maria. Or Marie, I'm sorry. It's an international crime syndicate trying to topple governments and take control globally. I saw this great video just like the other day by Jason J. Smart, one of my favorites, and he talked all about it, all about that that crime syndicate, And he broke it all down, and that was really interesting to hear. And I thought, yes, it is that. It is. And how it works, and like how the oligarchs, are part of that. And the other thing that continues to strike me regarding our oligarchs, um, where they are, is they all seem to come from like South Africa and other countries, but they're certainly entrenched here. That they also must be under Putin's control. I just recently I heard that, or maybe it was on Jason J. Smart's program, that he actually, like, he took one of the oligarchs, his oligarchs, to court, and this oligarch is a mega billionaire, and he resides in Australia, and he got the Russian courts to say something like, this was state money, and he was able to, or legally granted the ability to, take the whole $1 billion fortune away from this oligarch, which is insane. I wonder if there's any way that oligarch can fight that, because it just seems. I mean, one day you're a billionaire, you're billions. The next day it's gone. It's taken from you, and it makes me wonder, like, what his relationship is with all the other oligarchs, including Leon and TL and Ellison and Bezos and all those guys. Like, do they tithe to Putin? And can Putin at any given time decide, because he's desperate for money because of all the money that he's pouring into the war, which is like $500 million a day, I think, and he's bleeding money. So what would stop him from just, going, oh, I think Leon's money, well, not that Leon has as much as we think, but, Leon's money looks good to me. I'm going to take that. And everything's tied up in crypto with those guys. And I think the crypto is allegedly laundered through Russian banks and offshore accounts that Putin has control over. So even though they have all these billions of dollars, that money is really, or that electric so-called money, ersatz money, is potentially gone. None of it's secure. None of these oligarchs have secure money. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but it's just what I'm gathering. Linda's saying, every time 45 speaks lately, he shows how far he's gone mentally. The lights are on, but nobody's home. His cornbread isn't cooked all the way. I 100% agree. It's the strangest word salad. I mean, he's always had word salad, but this word salad is like, it's just a tomato, maybe a piece of lettuce, maybe a slice of carrot, just on your plate. Like, what is that? What happened to Greta? I think she was arrested in Israel, right, for protesting Gaza, and I think she was deported. I think she's okay. I just saw a picture of her, um, a recent picture of her. She's okay. She's just, Netanyahu, another orange one, like the orange one. Maria's saying, I bet 45 will pardon Maxwell. I get that sense too. I mean, I think he kind of has to, because she's got the goods. But if he does, oh my God, like young MAGA or MAGA are going to go nuts. There's a huge portion of them that are breaking away from the cults because of that. And they're realizing that, the orange one is part of the enemy, because that's how they've been indoctrinated. So can you imagine, what do you think would happen if he kept saying orange for origin early on. So I'm going to go in a few minutes. I'll keep talking for a little bit. Oh, really? That's terrible. Um, they beat Greta and forced her to wear an Israeli flag and kiss the flag. Oh, that's crazy. Um, oh, recently? Yeah, that's never been a good word for him. Origins. Too close to home. So you guys, uh, here we are. The No Kings March is coming up, I think next weekend. And there's his popularity, dear leader's popularity is so low, and it's going to drop even more. And there's millions of us. So to have like a strong authoritarian government, the population has to be complicit. I don't see that here. As much as we're struggling, I don't see our country, the majority of our country, being complicit in what they want. So there's that. And my guides say, I guess I'll leave you with this. It's going to end very soon. It's like we've been looking at this huge inferno, and now it's just, all the ashes, they're showing the ashes just settling, and the fire just really smoldering down to nothing. The end. Ashes, they're saying this to me, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And Marie, I ask the guys all the time, they do not see JD as president, but that may be something that I just have too strong an emotion to see the truth of it. But if I ask my guides now, and I try to clear and as clear as I can be, they're saying no. No. Okay, you guys, I love you. Thank you for joining me here. And I will be with you next week. Okay? Be well. I'll leave you with Ravia's comment here. If JD gets in, it will be to make all this crumble. I agree. The election stuff could come out when the terrorist is gone. All right, you guys. I love you. Take care. I will be back soon. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.